This is Share the Vision, presented by the Resource Center, a discussion of the programs and services of the Resource Center and about issues related to individuals with disabilities. Today, we come to you again from the Resource Center's administrative offices on Dunham Avenue, just outside Celeron. Steve Watterson, Community Relations Director, is with me. And Steve, it is a special occasion here at Dunham.
Yeah, Dennis, thanks for coming down. What we're doing today is we are dedicating the boardroom here at our administrative offices in honor of Wayne, Elaine, and Laurel Hotelling. As listeners will find out as we go through the program, the Hotellings have been involved with the Resource Center for almost 50 years. Wayne ended a 29-year term on the board of directors last summer, and at that point we decided we needed to do something to recognize not only his contributions but the whole family's contributions. So we have invited people that have been involved with Laurel Run, which is probably the event that most people associate with the Hotellings, some board members and employees here at the Resource Center for a nice little gathering, and we'll make some speeches, and as the listeners will find out, you'll hear a lot of nice things about the Hotellings and what they've done over the years.
Well, you think about the extraordinary contribution they have made publicly in terms of raising the awareness of all of us in terms of disabilities, and Laurel's story, and so many times told on this program about how they, coming to learn they had a child with Down syndrome, decided they were going to raise that child in a way that allowed her to have as much connection with the rest of the world as possible, as much opportunity, and that's become a model for everything they have done and for much that the Resource Center does.
Absolutely. Yep, they have been phenomenal, powerful, committed advocates for individuals with disabilities. Laurel has been a great grand marshal, for lack of a better term, for the Laurel Run, and it's wonderful that we're able to take this opportunity and do something demonstrative to show our appreciation for all their efforts over the years.
Well, I'm thrilled to be able to bring this to our listeners. So right now, we'll end this here, and Steve, you're going to pick this up as the MC in just a moment, so let's listen.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to this great event. We are here to honor a family that has been involved with the Resource Center for about 50 years. And their contributions over that time have been absolutely phenomenal. And we are very grateful for the opportunity to be able to demonstrate our appreciation for all that they've done over the years. To officially welcome you, I would like to introduce Denise Jones, our Chief Executive Officer.
Good evening, and thanks, Steve. Wayne, Elaine, and Laurel have been such a part of the fabric of the Resource Center for so many years, and I've so enjoyed getting to know them and their family as we've worked through many different challenges that we faced as an organization over the 25 years that I've been involved with the organization. I remember some fun trips to the Arc of the United States and New Mexico, and some of the neat experiences that I've been able to share with them as we were finding out different ways of approaching and serving individuals with disabilities here in Jamestown, New York, and the Chautauqua County.
I need to interrupt Denise Jones just long enough to explain a term that she used, ARC. Many, many years ago, it stood for Association for Retarded Children. Today, NYSARC, for example, is the statewide organization that supports people with disabilities throughout the state. The ARC of the United States does the same for the whole country. Now again, Denise Jones, the CEO at the Resource Center.
The Hotelling family has been involved with the Resource Center for almost 50 years, since Laurel was 3 years old and Wayne and Elaine were trying to find services for her. This began a long and wonderful relationship between TRC and the Hotelling family. Wayne and Elaine met in college, beginning a lovely partnership that has lasted almost 60 years. The strength of that partnership was shown when they learned that their first child, Laurel, had Down syndrome. Their doctor at the time suggested to Elaine and Wayne that the best thing they could do would be to send Laurel to live in an institution and to carry on their lives without her. Husband and wife were united in their response. They were determined to raise Laurel in their home and to give her all of the same opportunities that other children enjoyed: dance lessons, Girl Scouts, piano lessons. And I really, truly thank Wayne and Elaine for making that decision, because I believe my life personally, and I know the lives of many in this room, have been enriched by our experiences in knowing this family. After Laurel graduated from high school, she began working at the Resource Center's Dunkirk Work Center, where she continues to be employed to this day. She enjoys her job and truly values her paycheck. Wayne began serving on the Resource Center's board of directors in 1985, and during his long tenure, he spent 3 years as board president. Among the developments taking place at the Resource Center while Wayne was president were the expansion of the Resource Center's facility on Lakeshore Drive in Dunkirk to accommodate then a new day program and diagnostic and treatment center, the opening of the primary care clinic in Jamestown, the development of outpatient mental health programs in Jamestown and Dunkirk, the opening of a group home in Westfield, the opening of a day program in Jamestown for seniors with developmental disabilities, and the awarding of a $16 million contract for the federal government to make 48,000 air cargo bags to provide humanitarian aid to residents of war-torn Bosnia. Also, while Wayne served on TRC's board, he was a member of the executive committee for NYSARC, representing the Western New York region. At the time, the Resource Center did not always see eye to eye with other NYSARC chapters, and at regional meetings, Wayne often served as a verbal punching bag for representatives from the other NYSARC chapters. But Wayne always stood tall in supporting his own beliefs and supporting the Resource Center's position on statewide issues. While Wayne served on the Resource Center's board, Elaine also served on many TRC committees, and as well as on the board of some of our related organizations that partner with the Resource Center to improve the lives of people with disabilities. Wayne and Elaine not only advocated for their own daughter, but for others with developmental disabilities as well. On those occasions when a municipality was considering opening a new home for individuals with disabilities, the Hotellings would attend public hearings to speak out in favor of individuals having the right to live in the community. In addition, the Hotellings are liked and admired by staff and other TRC service recipients throughout the agency. Wayne and Elaine have adopted other TRC homes and visit them on a regular basis and bring gifts to celebrate holidays and residents' birthdays. After retiring from his job as a teacher in 1995, Wayne set about making plans to have a long-held dream come true and began training as a distance runner, and in August of 1997 began the inaugural Laurel Run. And we all know what Laurel Run has come to mean to this community and to individuals with disabilities. Laurel Run has since become an annual event, and the Hotellings continue to be the lead organizers. Wayne retired from the Resource Center's board after 29 years last June. At that time, it was decided that an appropriate way to recognize the contributions that Wayne, Elaine, and Laurel have made to TRC would be to name our boardroom in their honor because of the dedication and leadership they have provided to this organization. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Denise. We are fortunate to have with us today some of our elected officials or the representatives, and they would all like to come up and share some words. So first, I would like to introduce Jacqueline Sherratt, representing Congressman Tom Reed. Jackie?
This may not be the fair thing to do because he hasn't had the chance to speak yet. But Andy Goodell always says, my favorite thing about my job is the people that I get to meet. You guys are probably some of the greatest people we've all met. Thank you so much for your dedication to our community. Thank you so much for deciding that your daughter is the most important thing in your life and in our lives, because she is. Laurel, you're such a special person, and we all want to be a little bit more like you and your mom and dad. Thank you for giving your lives to making sure that this community is a better place, for the Laurel Run, for serving on the board, for making a difference, and for continuing to make a difference and inspiring others to do the same. On behalf of Congressman Reed and our office and the 718,000 people in our district, we just want to present you a congressional proclamation for all that you do and all that you continue to do. And just thank you for being here, and congratulations. It's well deserved.
Thank you, Jackie. Next, we would like to have our Senator, Kathy Young, come on up. Senator?
Well, thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be a part of this very special occasion on behalf of Wayne and Elaine and, of course, Laurel. Right, Laurel? I just wanted to be here to give special personal thanks to what this family has done not just for the Resource Center, not just for Chautauqua County, but for all of New York State, and that they have been such strong advocates on behalf of people with disabilities. For many years, I worked at the Rehabilitation Center in Cattaraugus County, which is the Resource Center's sister agency, a little bit to the east. And I had to chuckle when you were bringing up the fact that Wayne was there with NYSARC on the state level, because we are free thinkers in the western region of New York State, and Cattaraugus County teamed up with Chautauqua to be raising their voices at the NYSARC table and wanting something a little bit different. And I want to thank you for that, Wayne, because I know that was not easy during those days. I worked at the rehab center during the 80s and 90s, and so I know what a tough battle that was. But it really meant a lot that someone would be able to take that time and take that and make that effort in order to have our voices here way out west. So that was fabulous. You know, people have been involved with agencies such as the Hotellings for 50 years, really have something special next to their names, because these are the people who got it all started. We all know that in the 1950s and 1960s, there was a real lack of meaningful services for people with disabilities. And basically, oftentimes parents were told, either put your child in an institution or take that child home and love that child without any kind of education, without any kind of work, without any kind of day programs. And parents got together and said, that's wrong, and not only is it wrong, but we are going to change things. And they were pioneers, and that's what this family has done, because they have been pioneers in being strong advocates on behalf of people with disabilities. And, you know, I know they started Laurel Run, hard to believe, 19 years ago. It's raised so much money, and I know Laurel likes to get her paycheck, right, Laurel? Yes. And the funds raised through Laurel Run actually have gone toward the work centers. As you may have heard, we have some issues right now in New York State as far as keeping the work centers open. I've been trying to lead the charge on the state level. I sponsor legislation. I've been working with the disabilities community to have legislation that would actually save the work centers. We tried to get it in the state budget. The Senate actually led the effort along those lines. And though we did not get the exact bill that I would like to see passed, we did make some progress, because we were able to get language instructing OPWDD to do a year-long study, report back to the legislature and the governor in a year, but also have some kind of very detailed transition plan for people who can be in competitive employment, but for those who cannot or who choose not, that we would have alternatives available to those people with disabilities. And I think that's really important.
Allow me to interrupt to explain another acronym. OPWDD is the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities. Now again, State Senator Kathy Young at this event at the Resource Center, the naming of the conference room at their administrative offices in honor of Wayne, Elaine, and Laurel Hotelling of Silver Creek.
We would not have what we have here at the Work Center without you. Now, I know you've spent countless hours in that boardroom, right, Wayne? Yes. So I think it is very fitting and very proper that it is named in your honor and your family's honor. And so just as a small token of our appreciation, I have two proclamations from the State Senate. They both say the same things. I won't read them, but I do want to say to you, thank you so much and congratulations for all that you've done. You know, I say oftentimes that what you do is like ripples on a pond, because when you toss a pebble into a pond, it creates a ripple that spreads and spreads and spreads. And that's what you've done to make so many lives even better. So I want to thank you for that. So I have two, because I have one for Wayne and Elaine, and I have one for Laurel. Okay, Laurel? Okay. Well, congratulations.
Senator, thank you so much, and thank you so much for your support on behalf of individuals with disabilities across the state in these trying times to make sure that employment options remain available to everybody. Another strong advocate on our behalf at the state level is our Assemblyman. We'd like to have him come forward now, Mr. Andy Goodell.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're here to honor Wayne, Elaine, and Laurel by naming the boardroom in their honor. And what an appropriate honor, isn't it? It's the boardroom. And I will also share with you that while we're honoring the incredible impact, this has been an impact that's been 50 years in the making. And I remember back in the 80s and early 90s when I worked for the county government that I was hearing from Wayne and Elaine on important issues affecting Laurel. And we're here celebrating today, but, life is not always smooth sailing. And Wayne shared with me a little bit that at the beginning, it was tough. And back then, he didn't have a beautiful young adult daughter. And he said, somewhat like this: thankfully, I had Elaine, who was the perfect mate for me. And so, we're not just honoring one person or two people. We're honoring all of you who have made such a difference here at the Resource Center and throughout your community. And your impact is reflected by the fact that we have the mayor from Silver Creek who drove down here just to be part of this, as well as everyone else. So, Wayne, Elaine, I love your smile, Laurel. Thank you for all you've done for the Resource Center and for this community. And we look forward to another 50 years of positive impacts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Assemblyman. The first few years of Laurel Run, we did something different every year. And after about 4 years of that and really having to reinvent the wheel every year, we decided, you know what, let's just find a place for Laurel Run and stay there so we don't have to keep doing this every year. We needed to find a home, and Hoteling's hometown of Silver Creek provided that home to us, and they have been great hosts for probably the past 15 years, I think we've been doing Laurel Run in Silver Creek. We would like to now ask the mayor of Silver Creek, Nick Piccolo, to come up. He has not only known the Hotelings a long time from his position as mayor, but they are neighbors, correct? So, Mayor Piccolo.
Well, I'm privileged to be here today, especially to honor my neighbors and very, very dear friends. We're backdoor neighbors. Our children grew up next door. They never thought any different of Laurel because they were taught that people may look different, people may act different, but they're still people. You have to show those people respect, you have to show those people love, and you have to show that you care about them. I can't say enough, Silver Creek's so honored to have Laurel Run each and every year. It brings a lot of people home. It's surprising when you go down there and after the people have run or they've walked, people come home just so they can see family. Family comes home that has been away for a number of years. It's really a great function. It's a great thing, and it's in a great honor of a great person. She is the apple of our eyes. She's just great. And Wayne and Elaine, can't say enough what they do. They're very open-minded, and it's already been said, he works hard at what he does. He's determined to get things done. And all I can say is, It's just an honor for me to be here and a tribute to the Hotelling family. And Laurel, you know you're special. And we love you, and thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor. The Hotellings have had a big influence on a lot of people, and a lot of people from their hometown of Silver Creek. And I've asked one of Laurel's schoolmates to come up and talk a little bit about that experience and also how that experience influenced her career decisions. So if Nikki Risker wouldn't mind stepping forward. Nikki is our Director of Human Resources here at the Resource Center.
You should have introduced me as Nikki Piccolo, because that's how Laurel will always remember me and know me. But in 1972, when I was 5 years old, we moved in next door to the Hotellings. And I remember when I met Laurel for the first time, and her sister Diane explained to me, "Oh, she's handicapped." I said, "Oh, okay." And that was the beginning and the end of that discussion. And we spent many a day playing kickball and spud and all sorts of things. And Laurel was just as much a part of the group as everybody else in the neighborhood. Laurel took dancing lessons. We just posted a dance recital picture the other day. And for me, it was such an honor to be able to grow up next to the Hotellings and with Laurel, because it really showed me how important it is for individuals with disabilities to be able to participate as members of the community without any sort of distinction about what they can and can't do. Laurel can certainly play the piano and the organ far better than I can. I was always jealous of that, but it was because of the experience that I had with the Hotellings that I chose to enter this field where I could make a difference in the lives of others just as they've made a difference in my life. So thank you very much, and congratulations on a much-deserved honor.
Thank you. As was mentioned, Wayne no longer serves on the Resource Center's Board of Directors, but we didn't let him get away that easily. He just shifted over and now serves on the TRC Foundation's Board of Directors. We had one more speaker who pleaded with me to let him come up and say something. He is a member of our Laurel Run Planning Committee. He's our most dedicated volunteer. He calls me just about every day at about 10 minutes after 12 to let me know how he's doing with his fundraising efforts and asking me what he can do to help out. So I would like to introduce Mr. Brian Samuelson.
I met Laura and the family down to the research centers when we had the first walk-a-thon. And I've been in the walk-a-thon for a long time with them, for a good many years. And when I got the invitation to come tonight, they are one big family I enjoy having. Especially you, Wayne, Laura, and Mrs. And I enjoy being on the board with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. If we could have Elaine Laurel and Elaine come over to this cleverly hidden thing we have over here. We'll do the official unveiling. This is a plaque that is going to be mounted on the wall of the boardroom. We need a drum roll. There we go. You want to read? You want to come up and say something? Wayne, you're never at a loss for words.
Now, as Wayne Hotelling made his way to the microphone, he unfolded a poster. You'll hear Laurel say in a moment, it's of Terry Fox, a very well-known Canadian runner and cancer victim.
Laurel, who is that?
Terry Fox.
Terry Fox. In 1980, Elaine, Laurel, myself, Rick, Diane, and Donna, our entire family, were on our way to North Dakota. We were up about ready to go on to the Canadian Highway number 17, just outside of North Bay. It was getting late that afternoon. Dusk was setting in, and as we were to make the left-hand turn to go onto the highway, he was silhouetted against the sunset. And he had, as you can see, one prosthetic leg all the way up to the hip. At that time, I was the track coach at Silver Creek. And I noticed the runner, but he had a hitch in his gait as he was running. And we went on our way, and I had seen him, and it was in my mind. I went about 1.5 miles, and I stopped, and I turned around. I had to find out what was going on. We had passed the support vehicle for Terry Fox. In the meantime, we stopped, and we asked them what was going on. And they explained that Terry was on his way running across Canada. Now stop and think about it, a marathon a day. A marathon a day. He had his leg amputated because of the cancer. He was in remission. And what happened, the rest of our Canadian currency we gave to them for his support. And then we went on through Michigan and on through over to Wisconsin. And I followed him. He got north of Lake Superior and into what is now Jamestown, Ontario. It's called Wawa in Canada. And he had the cancer back. It had gone into his lungs. He was hoping that he could have made it to the Pacific Ocean because he dipped his foot into the Atlantic Ocean when he started his trek. He never completed it. 10 months later, he passed. But I'm so glad that I saw him, and I'm just so very thankful for the life of Terry Fox. And that is what inspired me. But all I can say is thank you so much for what's happened here tonight. There are other family members here who should be up here with Elaine and Laurel and I, and their son or their daughters here also, because they've made just as much a contribution as we have. But we thank you for what you have done, and we hope and pray that you will continue your support. Thank you very much.
We've almost reached the conclusion of the ceremony to name the conference room at the Resource Center's administrative offices for Wayne, Elaine, and Laurel Hotelling. But I didn't want to leave before you heard a little bit from Wayne's wife, Elaine.
Well, of course, we are honored, but as much as the hours that we put in here at the Resource Center, it never would repay for what they have given to us. You know, the courage, the enthusiasm, the confidence to continue on with the different activities that we've done and the things that we've done with Laurel.
Congratulations to you, and it is certainly an honor most befitting the contribution that you have all made. And before the program got underway, I did record a brief interview with Laurel Hotelling. Yeah. And I just wanted to say hello. How are you today?
Great idea.
Now, I understand they're going to name the conference room after you and your whole family here today. Is that right? How do you feel about that?
Yes. Great.
How are things going up at work at the work center there in Dunkirk?
A couple of years working good.
Oh, okay. Putting the lids on.
Yes.
Well, Thank you for being here today and spending a minute with us, Laurel, and I look forward to the whole program.
Yes.
And you know what else I look forward to?
Right.
Laurel Run when it comes to.
So yeah.
Not that far away now.
You're right.
Thanks, Laurel.
You're welcome.
Today on Share the Vision, the naming of the conference room at the Resource Center's administrative offices on Dunham Avenue just outside Celeron for Wayne, Elaine, and Laurel Hotelling of Silver Creek. Thank you for sharing the vision today.